Hey D&D people, this is going to be a tutorial on how to use D&D Beyond for new players and veteran players that are unfamiliar with it, and this will specifically be creating a character. So what you'll do is once you make your account, you'll go over to collections and my characters and you'll be brought to this screen where it'll have your characters. Now you're just going to go over here, click create character, and here, you'll probably almost always go with standard. Whatever you do though, don't touch these two bottom ones because they are awful and they will make your characters terribly. So start building. We're gonna go over here. This will be your character's name. So let's go ahead and name him Video. Now you can also click on here and go through, select a picture if you want to. You don't have to, nor do you have to do that yet, because as you progress, it'll start pulling ones that it'll think you'll want more. These are mainly up to you and your DM. The only big ones here are to figure out if you're going to be doing milestone or XP based advancement, and if hit points will be fixed or manual. That will be mainly up to your DM on those, so you'll want to talk to them about that. If you are just playing in a campaign with other people, you can leave it on campaign only. If you're going to be playing online and using something like Avray or what you'll want to switch this to public. With that, we can go ahead, go next, and pick our class. Now, your classes will definitely have these ones right here. This is all kind of if you have the modules for it, whatnot, but here will be your basic classes to pick. Now, if you click on one, you'll see that it'll go ahead and tell you what the class offers as you progress. So it'll tell you what your primary ability is. This is important. Remember that. As well as what your saves will be. Also important. Remember those. And then just what you'll get as you level up. And it'll go all the way to level 20. But you don't have to go to level 20 with it. So let's go ahead, since we're on Bard, let's go ahead and click Bard because it's got a little bit of everything, so it'll be good to figure out. So now, that's not what I wanted. But now we're here to where we actually make the character. So as you can tell, it's notifying me that I have some core Bard traits to input. So if I go here, click on it, it'll show you I have to choose some magical instruments and choose some skills. Now the magical instruments are flavor. They're whatever you want to have, doesn't really matter. So let's go here. Let's say test can or video can make a lute, or not make a lute, play the lute, play the flute, and play the hand drum. Sure, doesn't matter. These, though, will matter. The skills. These are going to be what your character is better at. So for my bard, let's go with persuasion. So you can convince people easier. Let's go ahead and pick perception. I want him to be able to notice stuff in a crowd while he's performing. Maybe that's kind of more his role. And performance. I mean, he's got to play good. Then here, this will just tell you what you get. So like Bardic Inspiration and spell casting. Now, with spell casting, what you don't want to do is scroll back up and click spells. You'll have to do this for every level, but here is the spells that I can select. These are ones that my class or race can use. Now, as you can see up here, cantrips 0 out of 2 and known spells 0 out of 4. This means I can have 2 cantrips, which are these spells that can be used all the time. They do not have a limit. And then known spells will be the total number of spells that I can know. So first, I would want to select some cantrips. So let's go Vicious Mockery, so that way I have an attack-based spell that I can use regularly. And as you can see, it tells me that the damage will increase as I level up, as will most. Now, let's go ahead and pick some utility. Mage Hand. Perfect. Something that doesn't do any attacks, but I can mess around with it. Now, so if we go up, we see we got 2 cantrips. Now, cantrips are different from spells. Spells have a set amount that we can do them per day. So these are typically a bit better, but they are more limited. So I can get 4 first level spells. Let's go ahead, do Silvery Barbs, because that is just a ridiculously broken one. Let's go ahead and select Bane, that's a good one. Command is always fun. And yeah, let's get a little Cure Wounds in there, maybe. These can be changed though. Each class has a specific time they can change them. But a lot of DMs will just do after a long rest. So when you sleep at night, then you can change them in the morning. Now, let's go back over here. And this is the levels. So when you're playing and you level up, you'll go back over here, you'll edit the character, and come here and you'll mess with the levels. Now, the campaign I am going to be playing is starting at level 5. So as I level up, as you see, more stuff pops up. So here I can choose expertise, which are skills that I'm really good at. So let's go ahead and do performance and, or that's persuasion, performance, and yeah, persuasion, sure. I get jack of all trades. And then this is the big one, level 3. Almost every class, level 3, is going to have your subclass. So this will be what makes your character different. So say you're playing with a bunch of bards, one could be College of Lore, one could be College of Swords, what have you. For this, let's go ahead, College of Eloquence. I don't exactly remember what this one does. But sure, I mean, you can also just go ahead, click on them, and see what each one kind of does. Actually, College of Whispers, that sounds fun. Here we get ability score improvement at level 4. This is also pretty universal. So you can go ahead and choose a feat. Or ability score improvement. So feats will give you kind of a set bonus, so each one will do something different. So for example, what would be let's go ahead and select defensive duelist for right now. So when you're wielding a finesse weapon with which you are proficient and another creature hits you with a melee attack, you can use your reaction to add your proficiency bonus to your armor class for that attack, potentially causing the attack to miss you. So this will be a feat. It'll be something you can do. All it does is cost your reaction, which you get 1 of per round, and it does exactly what it says. All these are different, or you can select an ability score improvement, which we haven't gotten to ability scores yet, but when we do, these will increase the score by a set amount, increase one ability score by 2, or 2 by 1. So let's go ahead, let's use this first. I'm gonna want my charisma just really high. Now here, font of inspiration, it'll also just tell you kind of what that does. Now I'll regain my bardic inspiration when I finish a short or long rest. So with that, now I'm going to have to go back into spells. That's the important thing to remember, is back into spells, because look, now I can have 3 cantrips and 9 spells. So I can select another cantrip. Let's go ahead and pick message. Let's say I just want to go ahead and point at a creature and whisper a message at them. And now, since I have leveled up, I actually now have access to level 2 spells and level 3 spells, and I believe that's going to be it. Yes. So you don't want to just dump everything, like get rid of all your level 1s into level 3s, because level 3s you can use less amount of times per day. You'll see the spell slots once we're done, but just know that for every class except for Warlock, it has diminishing returns, basically. The higher level the spell, the less amount of times you can use it. So I do like to occasionally grab kind of just like maybe one better spell. Let's go ahead and use Tiny Hut, just because that's really funny to use. You're just safe when you rest. Let's go down here to level 2 spells. Let's click. Let's take Shatter and let's see, Magic Mel. Nah. Zone of Truth. And then let's see, how many do we got left? We have 2 left. Let's click Fairy Fire, because that's a good one for a team. And yeah, Mirror Image. That's always a safe one. So now I have my character class taken care of. Go ahead, click Next. Background. Now this is mainly just flavor for your character. So you can go here and you can select what their background was. So I'll go with, let's say my guy used to be a spy. It's kind of how I've been fitting in with him. Gaming set, he's really good with dice. Sure, why not? Now this will kind of tell you other things that you'll get from the class. So I can get this and kind of just use it whenever I feel like it, or as the DM permits. These are all also just flavor, character details, flavor, so you can choose how they are. I highly recommend looking up what exactly these mean, because it's not really just cut and dry. So let's say my guy is lawful neutral. Lifestyle, he lives a modest lifestyle, and this will also kind of just be up to your DM too, but most of them won't care. Physical characteristics, personal characteristics, any notes, stuff like that. So this is all flavor here. So we'll go ahead and skip it. Species, or as it used to be called, race. This is what your character is. So once again, these may look a little bit different. You may only have these choices. But if you have different things, you may have also these kind of choices here. So let's go ahead and make this guy. Let's make him I just saw it, changeling. There we go. So also kind of like the classes, this will give you a little rundown of what you get. So like the changeling, for example, creature type, you're a fae, so kind of fairy folk, what have you, medium or small. That's somewhat important to keep track of. Your speed, which is very important. Kind of other things I get from it, as well as a big ability for it, so I could change my entire appearance. So let's go with that. Languages, I can choose a language to speak. Let's say Elvish. That I want to go medium. And instinct skills. Let's go ahead, click that descent, or no, let's click that and that. All right, and these don't really change as you level up. Now we'll go over here to ability scores. Now we did pick some ability score improvements before, so we know that we're going to be getting a +2 over here to our charisma. Looks like also get this. Let's go ahead, pick the 2-1. Generate amount or method. This will be up to your DM on how they want to do this. Whether standard array, where it will just give you set numbers to pick from, manual or rolled, which you'll roll dice and then get rid of the lowest one and add the rest up for the score, or point buy, which you have 27 points and it shows you what the cost of the points will be. So let's go ahead do this. A lot of times DMs will make it to where you roll for that stat specifically. I hate doing that because let's say I got this character planned out and let's go ahead and roll for it. I get 10. We'll put that into strength. I don't know why that says. Let's roll again. That's a pretty decent roll of 14. Let's make that wisdom. 17. Looks like we got our charisma score. 12. We'll throw into intelligence. 13. Throw into constitution. And 16 into dex. I like that. So then we'll just apply those. Boom. We have our scores. Once again, this is kind of just based on how the DM wants to do it. And then if we go down here, we see what we're working with. So we know we get +3 here, all that. So we have a +2 from that. So our score will actually be, our charisma score will be 19. So let's go ahead and plop this charisma score into 1, as that will then eventually bring us up to 20, right? Yes. For ability score 2, let's go ahead and look and see what we got here. I want to get my wisdom up. Yeah. So let's go ahead, select wisdom score. That's all you have to mess with there. Here is equipment. This also kind of just depends on your character, but I'll go ahead and select that just to make it easier. And he's got his flute with him. There we go. Add starting equipment. Boom. So then this shows my inventory, what I have. Here, we'll go ahead and do this, and then you can either export it or view character sheet. So let's go ahead view character sheet, and boom, we have our character sheet. So in the next video, I'll go over kind of what we're looking at here. Thank you.